Hey guys, before we get started, I just want to pop in and say thank you for listening. And if you haven't already, don't forget to follow BS with Tommy and Wes on social media, as well as Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and wherever you get your podcasting fix. Links for everything I just mentioned are in the description below. Now on to the episode.
Welcome to BS with Tommy and Wes. Turn it up. Frequencies align, we're amplifying mind.
Good afternoon, and welcome on this beautiful Monday to another episode of BS with Tommy and Wes. As always, I am Wesley Crane, and I am here with my Tommy.
I am your Tommy. There are loads of Tommies out there, but this one is yours.
Yes. So, Tommy, have you been up to anything this week?
Loads of things I've done. So many things.
Mainly loads, right?
Maybe I've done lots of loads.
Okay.
Lots of loads.
Yeah.
And by loads, obviously, I mean sex, because I know what that is. I know it's a thing. I know how it's done. I don't know anything about sex.
You were just doing laundry loads.
I've legitimately actually been doing a shit ton of laundry because the inside of my children's closets got enormously flooded due to our next door neighbor's upstairs bathtub overflowing.
Fucking neighbors.
My fucking neighbors, dude. They live in a duplex and I live in a one floor. So like their bathroom is upstairs. You used to stay in an apartment like that one.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So like their bathroom flooded and it seeped into the walls. Like, how to explain it? Like, paint a picture. Like, there's like, when you go to my apartment, our washer and dryer is like right there. And then to the right is our kids' bedroom. And when you walk into the kids' bedroom, to the left is their closet. So, like, there's a wall separating the closet and the washer and dryer area. And the wall itself got flooded.
Okay.
Like, in between the walls. So it spread over to underneath my washer and dryer and into my kids' closet. And it's kind of like, it went on for like almost 2 days straight, so it kind of seeped into their actual bedroom too. So, kind of working on getting that fixed right now.
You know,
so I have done loads.
As you were talking about that, I couldn't help but think about the episode on SpongeBob SquarePants where they're talking about the hash-slinging slasher.
Slinging slasher.
And as Squidward is warning SpongeBob, he's talking about how the walls would green ooze or whatever.
Yeah.
And they start doing it. He's like, oh, wait, that always happens.
That always happens.
For whatever reason, when you're talking about your neighbor's their bathtub flooding, that's all I could picture.
Well, we thought it was our damn washer for a second because it was like a leak coming from the washer area is what it sounded like, but we couldn't find it. We heard the leak, but we couldn't find it. That's because it was in the walls.
It was in the walls.
It was in the walls, man. It's in the walls. I gotta just see what happens. So what's going on with you, Wesley?
You know what? Honestly, not a whole lot. I went to Diamond State Wrestling.
You did?
Over the weekend. I was in a multi-man match that included myself, Alexander Gold, the magnificent Malico, Laurenta's ex, and there was one more, and I'm drawing a blank on his name. If he listens, forgive me, please. But match itself was not too bad.
Yeah?
Yeah. Match itself, not so bad.
Nice.
Turnout, very bad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love Diamond State, and maybe it was just an off day, but I may or may not have taken someone with me,
Okay.
and that individual counted the people
Oh, goodness.
that showed up
Oh, goodness.
and gave me an accurate number.
Oh, could you count them in all your fingers and toes?
Nope, I think I run out by 7.
Oh, fun. Oh, you couldn't use 2 hands.
Nope.
That's crazy.
Um,
Oh, man. You guys need to go support Diamond State Wrestling.
it was a good show. Match was a lot of fun. There was a lot of high flying action. There was a lot of cool creative stuff between Malico and myself. I may or may not have gotten a little angry at him and cost him his victory.
Oh, goodness.
But that's okay. I gave him a kiss on the forehead.
Oh, well, that probably makes up for everything.
Yeah. I think that was my mindset with it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you're enjoying all the bullshittery, there's no better way to show your support than by heading over to parabellampro.com. Whether you're into comfortable hoodies, classic tees, or rocking a hat that just gets people asking questions, we've got you covered. Check out the Glaze Me collection as well as the Heterosexual Life Mate collection and slip into something a little less appropriate. Only at parabellampro.com. Now back to the episode. So, Tommy, I have decided that I'm just going to start bringing you random things to try.
Ooh.
So, my wife was out today and found some chips.
Some chips.
Yes.
Okay.
These in particular chips are made by a very famous brand, Doritos.
Fucking love Doritos. Fucking love Doritos.
So today I bring you tangy ketchup flavored Doritos.
What the fuck? Why?
I remember hearing about these from my dad when we lived in Arkansas, and I thought he was fucking with me.
Why is this a thing?
I don't know. Smell them.
What? Oh my god, I'm having flashbacks.
Dude. Of what?
Dude, so, okay. I little thing about me that's not super, you know, I guess surprising. I grew up very dirt poor. And I've talked about it on this podcast before that I've had a plenty of fend for yourself nights.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, there was a good chunk where about, I want to say 12 to 13 years ago, me and my family moved into a house with no water and no power. And it was like that for a month. And so we were dirt poor. We had no money. We had no food. So I would just scrounge up the most random shit. One day, I ate this for 2 weeks straight. It was, I found a loaf of bread, and I would pinch up the pieces of bread, and I would open up one of those little 33-cent bags of Doritos, and I would open up fucking Quick Trip little packets of ketchup.
Yeah.
And that was my dinner for 2 weeks straight. So, dude, all I'm missing is a loaf of bread. All I'm missing is bread, and then it's just like home.
Dude.
All right, I'm gonna give these a try here. Heck yeah.
It looks like a nacho cheese.
It looks like a fucking spicy nacho cheese that would light your ass on fire. There's a lot of dust on that.
There is.
All right, we're gonna give it a shot here. That's a Dorito dipped in ketchup. That's not soggy. That's a Dorito in ketchup. It's good.
You like it?
I like it. It's good. I'm not gonna eat all these right now. I've already eaten a lot today, but I am gonna finish this later.
So my wife found those at, I believe, Casey's.
Okay.
So I remember my dad telling me about them. I thought he was bold-faced fucking lying to me. Like he had seen something on social media that was fake, and he was just excited about it.
Okay.
It wasn't until today that we found out they are real indeed.
Indeed, they are real.
And Tommy loves them.
And Tommy does love them. I love broke food. I love poor people food, dude. I was having a conversation yesterday with a coworker of mine. I think I told him, I was like, no matter how much money I ever make, no matter how rich or poor or broke or fucking wealthy I am, I'll never be too good for ramen noodles.
No, ramen noodles are fantastic.
And I'm not talking about like a ramen bar kind of thing, like a ramen restaurant.
You're talking Maruchan 38-cent ramen noodles.
Oh, yeah. Top ramen or margin, doesn't matter. They're all the same to me. Like, I love them both. I'll never be too good for them. I had some yesterday for lunch. It was delicious. Mixed it with some hot sauce, a little bit of Lowry seasoning salt. We're good to go. It's delicious, bro.
I hate to be that guy.
Oh, you're going to be that guy.
I am going to be that guy.
Don't be that guy. Don't do it.
But when I moved back to Oklahoma, I was eating a lot of Maruchan ramen noodles.
Okay.
There was a point where I stopped enjoying them. I think I was just eating for the sake of eating. So I decided to branch out and try to make different ramens.
Yeah.
The first one I tried was those ramen eaters out there. I'm drawing a blank right now. So if you know the name, never mind. I got it. It's called Kujirai ramen.
I thought you said Kuchirai.
Kuchirai.
Kuchirai ramen.
So it's called Kujirai Ramen. It's a Korean.
Just like discharge.
So then. Oh, damn it. I'm really dry. So, this in particular way of making ramen comes from Korea, where you will put essentially a boiled egg over top and then border it with some sliced cheese.
Okay.
Kind of makes it like a creamy, cheesy ramen.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn good. I eventually got burnt out on that and started to kind of play with different ramen brands.
Okay.
I found my favorite ramen.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It's called, and it's from a brand called Ning. Is it Nin?
Careful what you say here.
Ning Sham?
Okay. Ning Sham.
I think.
Don't think I've heard of that one.
I don't know. I just remember. I just remember the packaging is black.
Jesus. We're going to move on instantly.
Shin Ramyun.
No, I was literally having that conversation though. Like the appeal for ramen noodles for me personally is the noodles. So I don't like going to ramen places. Like I don't want like the extra stuff. Like I don't mind like adding some stuff to it, like some like you said, an egg here and there is okay. Some cheese is pretty good, but I don't like adding all these different veggies and broad like and all these different kind of meats. I just give me the noodles. Just
Give me the noodles.
give me the nudes.
Nong Shim.
Nong shim.
Nong Shim. Shin Ramyun.
That sounds so racist, but
That's my favorite one. Specifically black. The reason
because it's the racist.
I say specifically black is because it comes with a veggie packet, and these veggies are like thick cut, fucking good veggies. It's not like you're just putting dust in there.
Okay.
It also does come with a seasoning packet, and then I'll usually throw an egg or two in there as well. But it's so fucking good.
I'm glad you found one that tickles your.
It does.
I am trying to actively get lost in these woods, and we keep somehow finding our way out.
Yeah. We're gonna
trying to
circle
get
back
lost.
around.
Stop finding me, world.
Well, so after the tasting of Doritos
Yes.
and talking about ramen noodles,
Yes.
I believe it is time
Is it?
for everyone's favorite segment. What's that called, Tommy?
What you drinking? So Wesley Crane, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, tonight,
This sunset.
this time in our life, I'm going to be drinking cocaine.
Cocaine.
Specifically a sugar-free cocaine.
I didn't know you could drink cocaine.
I didn't know you could drink sugar-free cocaine.
Insane.
So this is this is a drink I remember seeing when I was a teenager, and back then there was only two. There was a red one and a blue one, and they did not have flavors. The red one was just spicy. The blue one was not.
Spicy cocaine energy drink.
Yes.
That sounds awful.
Now, so like this drink caught a lot of flack when it first came out.
Okay.
So much so that they had to put a warning on the side of the can that says, and I'm going to read this verbatim. Hold on, I'm going to stop real quick. It says, "This message is for people who are too stupid to recognize the obvious. This product does not contain the drug cocaine. Duh. This product is not intended to be an alternative to an illicit street drug, and anyone who thinks otherwise is an idiot."
What's even the point then? I was hoping that bottle I threw would shatter on a tree so you would hear it. Like I'd be like, what's the point?
But it didn't.
It did not shatter. Damn it.
So
Now I have no drink.
this one in particular is called, it's the yellow one. It's a sugar-free cocaine pina colada flavor. And Bud, you just said you don't have something to drink. Well, I bring gifts.
You bring gifts.
I brought you a green sugar-free cocaine
Ooh,
watermelon ice.
thank you. That bottle
You're
of
welcome.
piss was getting to me.
We can
Jesus.
enjoy some cocaine.
I was still drinking the same bottle of piss from last episode. Oh, that's a good crack.
That's a good crack.
That's a good crack. It's gotta be the cocaine drink. It has a good crack in it.
Holy shit, that's really good.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That is very good.
It's very good.
That is much better than Black Rifle.
Holy shit. Hold on a second. I gotta stop and sit down for a second.
Stop, sit down.
I am blown away.
I gotta stop too. This is gonna make me cream myself.
I am blown away at how good this drink tastes.
Oh my God, that's so good. I just preed. Ah,
Try that. You like pina colada?
trade me. I do like pina coladas and getting lost in the rain. Mine's better. I like the pina colada, but mine's better.
See, I'm the other way around, but I think that's simply because I just hate watermelon flavored things.
That's very good. That tastes like a watermelon soda. Doesn't even really taste so much like an energy drink. It doesn't even say energy drink. It says energy supplement.
Yeah, and I'm reading the back panel of it. You got 4 grams of carbs. You got 90 milligrams of vitamin C, 5.1 milligrams of B6, 14.4 micrograms of B12.
There's a shit ton of caffeine in this.
You got 260 milligrams of sodium, 19 milligrams of potassium. You got taurine. You got 280 milligrams of caffeine.
And this
so
is a
it's
small can.
this is a small can. It's the size of a normal Red Bull.
It's the size of my penis. Before the dark times.
I'm so sorry.
Before the dark times.
Before the dark times.
Yeah. Mine's only got 3 carbs, so get fucked.
Yours has less carbs.
I know.
Damn. I still think mine tastes better.
Well, I'm glad you like it because I like mine.
Good.
Awesome.
Well, I have 2 other flavors that we can try as well.
Sick. Well, now that I've come to completion, shall we get walking again?
We shall.
Also, welcome back to week 3 of Walk Pod.
Hey, can we just talk about how I'm sitting on this bench and my feet don't touch the ground? I'm just kind of kicking like a small child.
It's not even a tall bench.
It's not. I'm just a short person.
You're a short king.
I'm a short king.
Don't you forget that.
The crown is in my butthole.
The crane hole.
The crane hole.
Brown.
The crane hole.
Brown.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Oh. So, Tommy, do you have anything else that you would like to speak about
I mean,
before we get into the thing that everybody wants to hear?
that doesn't say that everybody wants to. We got to tease them. We got to tickle their balls before we jerk them off. Damn. No, I don't really have shit.
Well,
I mean, I did start a new program for my fitness, I guess. I could talk a little bit about that, I guess.
let's talk about that.
For the 2 people that would give a shit about what I'm doing physically, that's not banging their mom. You sent me this guy named Seth Feroci.
Yeah.
And he's a bodybuilder. He's an ex-professional bodybuilder. We're going in circles now, by the way. I don't know. Everything's starting to look the same. It's like that time when I got high.
That was very
Animalistic.
airy and wet.
Sounded like Godzilla.
Wet and airy.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So basically the thing I've picked up from bodybuilders and their workouts, they're specifically tailored for them to look a certain way. Now, my fitness has always been like this double-edged sword thing. I've never really looked like I was in the best shape. I've had times where I was in good shape, like visually, but I've always worked out to a point where I feel great. I always feel better than I look. I've always had really good cardio. I'm stronger than I ever have been in my life. I'd say the one thing that I've lacked recently is agility, just because I'm getting older. I'm in my 30s now. So, but one thing I picked up from bodybuilding recently is that they work out to look a very specific way. So, me being a pro wrestler, I want to look a very specific way. So I decided I'm going to start training like a bodybuilder. And let me tell you, it has been kicking my ass.
It's rough.
Specifically the back day. The back day and the chest day have both fucked me up. Now, not because the chest day wasn't hard. It was just a lot more than I usually do.
Yeah.
But nothing in it was hard. The back day it's not only is it a lot more than I usually do, it's like double what I usually do, and it's been fucking hard. And I was telling you earlier off mic that every time I've done this back workout, about 4 hours later, my arm cramps into a Godzilla arm.
You get T-Rex arms.
I get T-Rex arm, bro. Like, and it gets to the point where like, the longer it stays like T-Rex, the more it hurts. but it's also harder and harder to un-T-Rex. So it's a little worrying, but I do feel strong. I feel great physically, except for this little pinched nerve I have in my back. But other than that, I feel great physically. It's just a reminder, I guess, that I need to stay hydrated more, better. I gotta do a better job of staying hydrated. So it's been a pretty good reminder of that.
Hell yeah.
If you're a pro wrestler, also, by the way, come buy a gym membership from me. I'm desperate.
Where are you at?
I am at Genesis Health Clubs, and if you don't have a gym membership and you're a pro wrestler, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Come see me to buy an overpriced gym membership.
That's well worth it.
It is well worth it, at least I think.
It might be overpriced, but it's well worth it.
It is. It's definitely overpriced, but you know what? You get to work out with me, and that's what you all really want inside. Exactly. See me sweaty. I mean, you could do that on the weekends anyways, I guess.
Yeah.
Just walking on me and your mom. Oh! I'm going to make that a bit. Well, Tommy will fuck your mom. It's going to be on a t-shirt in 2 months from now. Watch. Do you have anything else? Oh, is it getting a little... You want me to carry that sack?
No, I just had to get it off my thumb.
Okay. I mean, I can carry the bag for you too, but
Yeah. Luckily, the other thing is just taped down to my ankle, so...
Do you have anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Previously on Wrestling Survivor. The Final Five has no room for sensations or Cajuns, but not because of racism.
I like it.
I don't.
I don't like it.
I don't
like it at all. Well, the last episode of Wrestling Survivor, things got a little tense, a little cutthroat, and people are starting to turn on each other.
Yep.
Derek James joined forces with Red Chambers, Tatum Manning, and grimy Dalton Gray. How's that bastard still in this game?
I have no clue.
He's gone through a crazy arc, by the way.
I think grimy also means slippery.
And sticky.
And
We've determined that on the last episode. But they kind of came together and they broke up the three-person alliance. That was Derek, Stormy, and Eddie. So Derek did have to turn his back on his partner. But, I mean, those are the kind of things you got to do in this game if you want to win. And out of those three people, only one of them was thinking, only one of us can win this game.
Yes.
So we ended up saying goodbye to a fan favorite, Aunt Nettie LaVaughn, who finally gets to go home. It's funny, though, when he goes home, there are like 4 other people there who've already been eliminated.
Whoa.
Just eating mac and cheese.
Why are you guys in my house?
He just walks in and he's like, oh, yeah, there's way more people here than there usually is. I'm not used to having this many people here. Thank God.
And they're all eating his mac and cheese.
They're eating all of his mac and cheese. That's what he's upset about.
Yeah.
He's not upset that there are a lot of people in his house. We are taking a detour.
Not really. It's just a little circle.
Is it a little circle?
It is.
Okay. But anyways, so that brings us to the final 5. We are now at the penultimate episode.
The penultimate.
Penultimate. That's what I said. And I done said it. We are down to grimy Dalton Gray, Tatum Manning, Red Chambers, Derek James, and Stormy Renee. Little quick recap of the arc of Dalton Gray, who started this off by getting pimped out.
Yes.
He was borderline being sexually trafficked.
Yeah. Borderline.
But then he ended up joining forces with a strong alliance with Stormy Renee and a few other people. And then he eventually turned on that alliance because he realized the numbers weren't going to be with him. So he joined forces with the Strength Triad, which was then dismantled by Stormy Renee, which put Dalton Gray on the outs.
He did.
But he's been managing to hold on. He won immunity 2 weeks in a row, basically when he needed it. The 2 times that he was on the chopping block, he won. So he's played a pretty good game too at this point, gotta say.
The luck of the youth.
The luck of the youth. But that brings us to today. How are things at camp right now? How is Stormy reacting to Derek James breaking up the alliance?
She's probably beside herself a little bit.
Yeah?
She's probably not happy. Sorry, I just noticed something.
So, hello, world.
This says caution, snake habitat.
Oh, I don't like that.
This area is home to snakes.
I didn't know that.
Do you think that they know that?
Where the hell am I at? Oh, I don't know. We've been purposely trying to get lost, Tiger. I've been lost for like 20 minutes.
Oh, Jesus. I think if you go that way and then you make a right somewhere, you'll probably find your way. Find those little poles, and I think follow the red arrows.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I think so.
Got any good shots?
No.
It's all the same shit. Green, and more green. I tried taking pictures of a bird, but blew off.
Oh, fucking bird, dude.
I know.
Damn that bird.
It's all big circles, so if you just keep walking, you'll eventually find it.
Oh, okay. All right. Good luck, my brother.
Do you think the snakes know that that's a snake habitat?
I don't think that snakes know that they're actually even snakes. I think, listen, this is going to get me canceled. I think we should kill all snakes.
You think snakes think that they're puppies?
I think snakes think that they're gods. And we should get rid of them.
I have killed many.
I don't like snakes.
Listen,
I am deathly afraid of snakes.
I was until I got bit by one, and then I'm not so scared of them now. But I've killed several. So does that make me a god slayer?
I think it does.
God slayer Wesley Crane.
It doesn't make you a god slayer because snakes aren't actually gods. They just think that way.
Oh,
Makes you.
hypothetical god slayer.
And what it makes you is a hero.
He's
That's what it makes you. This is going to be a very unpopular opinion. I fucking hate snakes and I wish they would all die.
I'm not a big fan of them, but I'm not scared of them anymore.
Oh, I want them to be extinct, which is, brother, I'm going to get a lot of heat for that. But holy shit. Anyways, back to Wrestling Survivor.
Yes, back to Wrestling Survivor.
Stormy is
I
pissed.
think, yeah, Stormy's probably a little upset.
See, here's the thing about Stormy. Stormy's been playing a really good game, but I don't think she's necessarily been trying to play a good game.
Right. And by the way, I feel like I do need to clarify. I don't think she's upset as in like she's pissed off that he did that. No. I think she's upset because she feels betrayed.
Yep. Well, I think it's very clear at this point now that this is every man for himself.
Yeah.
Everyone's been playing for themselves, with an exception of one Tatum Manning, who I would say he has not really made any big plays.
No.
He's been kind of just like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for him. But everybody else, I think at this point is safe to say, it's all as the Fatu would say, it's all gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes.
Yabba I can't do the thing. I'm not gonna try.
Yabba dabba doo.
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's what it is.
All right, so this brings us to our final reward challenge.
Aw, shit.
All right, let me pull up my notes. Pull them up. I'm so unprofessional. All right, reward challenge. It's a bit of a long one, so bear with me here. I'll explain details if I need to. Tribe members will each be shackled to a pole in the center of like a 10-foot circumference circle that has been traced with coconuts. All right?
Kinky.
To unlock themselves, there is a 3-foot tall little plastic cylinder, barely big enough for you to fit like part of your hand in, like you can dip your fingertips in.
Okay.
At the very bottom of this cylinder is a key to unlock the shackles. What they must do is use coconut water to fill up this cylinder to get the key out to unshackle themselves.
Okay.
So they take the coconuts, they have to break them up, and then using the water that's in each coconut, free themselves. Once they are freed, at a quarter mile into the woods, there are 2 separate stations, also a quarter mile away from each other, that have 2 coordinates. The coordinates are labeled anywhere from south, north, southwest, east, any of those 8 different coordinates, right? So they have to run to each 2 separate stations, which are like kind of triangulated with the shore to be like a quarter mile each, right?
Okay.
Once they have both their coordinates, they will come back to the starting circle that they were in. The starting circle has 1 label on it, and it says north. So they must use their coordinates, which are all different for all tribe members, by the way.
Okay.
And they must dig about 4 feet into the sand to find a chest, wherever those coordinates are within that circle that was surrounded by coconuts. So here's the kicker, right?
Okay.
This circle that was only traced with the coconuts. So if they use a lot of coconuts, they might not have the best idea of where the end of that circle is.
Right.
So they got to try to remember that. So and once they find their chest dug up, they will open the chest and it will reveal a knife. They will take that knife and they will cut a rope that is attached to the same starting pole that will raise their personal flag. Once the flag is raised, they win reward. Here's what they're playing for. There are actually 3 rewards,
Okay.
but there is a kicker. There are WrestleMania tickets,
Okay.
2 front row seats.
Okay.
There is a new car. Let's just call it some like 26 Toyota or something. I don't know.
Okay.
And then the third reward is an advantage for the immunity challenge. But here's the kicker. They only get to pick 2 of the 3 rewards.
Okay.
So they really have to think about what they want. Do they want to go home with luxuries, or do they want a chance to stay in this game a little bit longer? So who do you think wins this challenge? So starting off, they have to use the perimeter of their circle to trace to break open those coconuts to fill the cylinder to get the key to unlock themselves. Let's start with that, okay? How do you think is taking advantage of that? Who do you think's thriving?
I think Dalton's probably thriving.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's a small man. He's got to break open those coconuts. Usually the best way to break it open in these coconuts is to smash them on a rock.
That is true.
So let's say they also each have one giant rock within their circle.
To break open the coconuts, I think Tatum's probably taking the lead.
Okay.
Red behind him.
Okay.
I think Derek's probably doing
Good.
pretty well.
Pretty well. Yeah.
Your weak members as far as the coconuts go,
Yeah.
Stormy and Dalton.
Stormy and Dalton.
As far as wait, what's the next step?
So once they are able to fill this 3-foot tall cylinder with coconut water to unlock themselves, there are 2 stations into the woods.
Okay.
Kind of like one's this way and one's that way.
Okay.
They are a quarter mile into the woods. And they're also a quarter mile separated from each other. They have to go to each station to get their own coordinates, basically. Everyone's coordinates is slightly different. So that way nobody can copy each other.
Okay.
So basically they have to go run 3/4 of a mile and remember the coordinates. So if they forget, they have to run back out.
I don't know if any of these people are good with following directions.
Okay. I mean, it's pretty much just, like, the run itself is not like super confusing. It's just like, all right, you're going to run this way. Like, it's just like a straight line that way.
Right.
And then a straight line that way. And then a straight line back to shore. So that's not super confusing. It's just they got to run fast because it is a race, and they got to remember the 2 coordinates.
I think Red and Tatum are probably heading this.
All right. I think Red loses footing on the running.
Probably.
I don't think he's a fast runner. I know he does do run, though. He does have good cardio. Like, he does run a lot. I just don't think he's very fast. I think Derek pukes on the running.
Probably.
So you mentioned on the last episode, Derek James has surprisingly good cardio.
Yeah.
There's a caveat to that. I don't think he has great cardio. I just think he's a machine that will push himself to the limits. But once he stops, he pukes everywhere.
He pukes everywhere.
Derek James is a puker. Like, so he might run to that first station and then sprint to the second station as fast as he can, and then probably passes everybody, but then he fucking has to vomit.
So you think the strongest contenders here are probably going to be, well, how are we feeling that Stormy and Dalton are doing?
I feel like they're pretty neck and neck.
Okay.
And I don't think that they're getting just super gassed. I think they lose time on the coconuts.
But they make for it and they make up for it in the run.
Yeah, maybe in the run. Maybe, I don't know if they necessarily, I don't think they make up distance, but they don't lose any more distance.
So they're just kind of staying chill.
Yeah. I do think that they are going to fall short though when it comes to the digging, unless these guys, these meatheads, have trouble remembering their coordinates. Because usually you get like rope or something to find an intersection.
Yeah.
This time you don't. You kind of have to like use your foot to draw a line in the sand to try to trace your coordinates.
Okay.
So like, let me explain that a little bit more. So when they go to the first station, they are given one coordinate. Say it says like southwest. So when they come back, when they get back to their area, what they're going to want to do is like find that north spot.
Yep.
Use that to navigate to where southwest will be, and then trace a line all the way across the circle. And they need to do that with both coordinates. And wherever the intersections meet, as long as they're correct and as long as they trace well, will be where their chest is.
Okay. So are we thinking Tatum probably makes it back to the chest first?
I think Tatum overall is just performing well because he hasn't had to like waste a lot of energy in previous challenges. So, but when he gets to the sand, like I don't think he's going to have an issue with any of the physical aspects of it. When it gets to kind of like remembering, hey, that's where I peed earlier. when it gets to like remembering the coordinates, I think that's where he's gonna lose some time. Like maybe he starts digging a hole and he's like, was it really here or was it over there? I think that's where he might struggle a little bit. But not like a lot. I don't think it's gonna cost him necessarily the whole challenge. I just think it gives everybody else a chance to catch up.
Yeah.
I think Derek is actually probably also ahead a lot as well. I think he stops to puke, but I don't think that necessarily slows him down.
He just keeps going.
He just keeps going.
At the Terminator.
Keeps puking. I think he gets to the digging and he starts digging and instantly pukes in the hole.
Derek, you poor bastard.
So, but I think I think all the vomiting is going to go to his head and he's not going to remember shit.
He's just gonna be so turned around. He's like,
Fuck! I think Derek's dug like 4 holes by the end of this and they're all wrong. I do think Tatum probably edges this one out though.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think you're probably right. Tatum is strong. He's fast, and he doesn't forget a whole lot.
Yeah, we both wrestled him.
Yeah. He doesn't forget a whole lot.
He's never forgot a spot against me. I think I forgot one against him actually.
So
I do know there's of one instance where he forgot a spot. And he got chopped in the mouth by ACH.
So he's probably doing fairly well.
Yeah, that was a reminder to never forget shit again.
He's taking this one, I think.
I think so too. I think Tatum wins immunity.
Yep.
So, not immunity, he wins reward.
He wins reward.
So, he gets to pick 2 of the 3 rewards. Front row WrestleMania tickets, a new car, and an advantage in the next immunity challenge for this episode.
What does Tatum drive?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think he needs a car. But does he want a new one though? I think Tatum would take WrestleMania tickets, weirdly enough.
I think you probably would too.
Like, I'm not saying Tatum Manning is some kind of a type of mark.
No.
He's not like a mark or anything, but like,
But hey, if somebody's like, these are free fucking front row WrestleMania tickets.
that's
Want
an
'em?
experience. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yes, let's go.
So,
I think he goes with immunity and WrestleMania tickets.
okay. So he gets an advantage in the immunity challenge.
Yep.
So we get back to camp. I don't think there's like too much extra talking going on. I think they're just kind of waiting to see what happens at immunity. So we get to the next immunity challenge where Tatum Manning has an advantage that gets announced after the challenge is explained. So here's the challenge. It's a combination of all old challenges dumbed down a little bit. So here we go. Tribe members will compete in a collection of altered old challenges. One person will be eliminated after each challenge. So basically, it's like little mini challenges and they're races. And it's like last person to finish is eliminated.
Okay.
So the first challenge is the Seesaw Fire Pit Challenge. You remember that one?
Yep.
They had to fill up their buckets with water and keep a fire going long enough to burn a rope.
Yep.
Here's where it's altered. Obviously, this is a little mini version of it. There's no hole in the bucket this time. That's draining water. Also, instead of using a flint, they have matches. And these are smaller buckets as well.
Okay.
So it's a little bit easier. So you have to make a fire in a fire pit on one side of this seesaw that's all the way down. And then you have to raise that fire by dumping water from the ocean into the barrel that's on the other side of the seesaw that is all the way up.
Right.
Once the fire is raised all the way, it burns the rope. Last person to finish is eliminated. Here's the advantage. Tatum Manning gets to skip this challenge and go straight to the next one.
Ooh. Okay, so the contestants for this one are Stormy,
Ray,
Derek, and Dalton.
Yep.
I think Derek's probably doing pretty well. He's strong.
He's strong. Dalton's probably doing I think everybody's probably doing fairly well in this one.
Yeah.
This one's a tight one.
I think it comes down to who's got the most stamina as far as like running back and forth from.
I think it comes down to that, but it also comes down to who's going to make their fire the fastest. Just because you have matches doesn't necessarily mean that the fire's a guarantee instant.
Right.
Like, I do think you have to get the fire going using like coconut husk, like sheds.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you have to keep it going with oxygen long enough for you to collect branches to put in to keep the fire going. And you have to create it, like, it has to get bigger and bigger. Like, it has to grow. You can't just create like this little fire. It has to be a good one.
Weirdly enough, I feel like Dalton's probably good at making a fire.
Yeah, I feel like we are like 36, 39 days into this. I think all these people should be able to make fire at this point.
But do you think that they can keep it? Because once you find those people that can,
Who do you
make
think
a
has been
fire-
tending the fire most at camp?
Probably Dalton sitting there by himself. Just chilling in his own fire.
Made his own fire.
I think past him,
I feel like Stormy's been doing a good job of maintaining fire.
yeah.
I don't know if she's necessarily been the one starting the fires. But I think she's been the one maintaining it the most. I think Red's been really good about making fires. Like, getting them going. And he's been using flint and stuff as well. So I don't think matches will be a problem for him. This is a real tough one.
Yeah.
And I think we might have to like
So for it?
maybe.
Fuck.
So let's who would you say are the two people that stand out the most? I think Derek does for sure.
Derek does, and I think Stormy does too.
Derek and Stormy. So when it comes to Red and Dalton, ooh, tough. You know, weirdly enough, I think this was the perfect thing for Tatum because I think he would have lost here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Tatum would have not finished. So,
Pause.
pause.
Peach mango or mixed berry?
Ooh, peach mango.
Okay. Then I will go mix.
So we're gonna flip a coin for Dalton and Red because I can't necessarily decide. I think they're both good at making fire. I think they're both gonna be equally as fast.
Okay.
Getting water. So I gotta hold on. Pause. I gotta find. I didn't prepare for this.
Oh, good.
Coin. Flip. Hey. Coin. Did you see what it was? Heads for Red, tails for Dalton.
Head.
Oh, okay. So we'll flip again because I shouldn't have said that actually. So heads for Red, tails for Dalton. We're flipping it now. Ah, Red Chambers wins.
Oh,
Red Chambers moves on.
Red gets head.
Red gets head. Yes.
That's the title of this episode.
All right. So Dalton Gray's been eliminated from this immunity challenge. We move on. This is a callback to the very first challenge. Do you remember what it was?
No.
So people had to swim out to the ocean and get all this stuff, come back and get all these puzzle pieces, and then dig a hole under a log to climb under for two people to go under to solve the puzzle. So it's like that, but we're taking up the ocean aspect. So people have to dig a hole underneath a log big enough for them to fit under and then solve a puzzle on the other side. First 3 to finish win. Tatum is in this challenge officially. So it's Tatum versus Stormy versus Red versus Derek.
I think Dalton, Stormy, and
Dalton's
Red.
eliminated, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Tatum, Red, Stormy, and Derek.
I think Stormy is doing really well. I think she's got really strong legs, so she's probably able to just fucking move.
Will they get stuck under the log though? Think she digs a path big enough for her body to fit under, but then her legs get stuck maybe.
Very possibly.
This sounds like we're calling her fat.
But no, she's just got like, she's got very strong legs.
I think Derek gets first in this one again.
Derek's super slender, so getting under the log's going to be a lot easier for him.
I think it'll be a lot easier for him. I think Tatum's right behind him. Stormy and Red are both kind of behind him. Yeah. Here, I can carry that, bud. I'll carry. Hello, welcome to my mouth hole. So who's going to be better during the puzzle aspect? They have to solve a puzzle.
Probably
It's about 12 pieces. Little ones this time, though, not giant ones.
Probably either Tatum or Red. Stormy's really, really intelligent. However,
I think she is intelligent.
when it comes to, like, in my brain anyway, when it comes to solving a puzzle, I'm almost thinking about it in terms of putting together a wrestling match. And
Okay.
I've seen both Tatum and Red take clusterfucks of a match and then just, like, figure all the puzzle pieces out right there.
Okay.
So
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, I think that they're probably doing really, really well.
Again, I think this is a situation where everybody does really good.
Yes.
I think Derek wins again.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and give you Tatum for second. Not because I think he was better at the puzzles than anybody else. I think it's just because he finished the log part before Red and Stormy.
Right.
And I think we coin flip for Red and Stormy.
Okay.
So if you hold that a second.
Yep. I'll hold that. I'll hold the mouth.
We're so professional. We are so professional how we do this. All right. Red for head, tail for Stormy.
Yes.
Tails. Red Chambers is eliminated. Stormy wins immunity.
Stormy.
So, final 3. Here we
Yeah.
go. The third challenge is the ocean obstacle course from last week's episode. They literally just have to get to the finish, right?
Yeah.
So it's the first 2 people. They have to swim out to the ocean and to the same obstacle course. It's still there. And they have to, it's like a balanced obstacle course. We already determined all this.
Right.
So they have to get to the end of that. I think this is actually pretty clear. I think Tatum loses this one.
Yeah. I don't think he's able to keep up.
I think Derek gets to the swimming, vomits, and then he just powers through like the obstacle course aspect. And I think Stormy falls behind a little bit. Tatum probably beats her to the obstacle course, but I think he's having a hard time. He's probably falling a little bit.
Yeah.
And Stormy never falls. I think she's nimble.
Yeah.
So here we go. Derek versus Stormy. And here's the thing. They are on the end of the obstacle course, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this time, instead of like little sacks of like puzzle pieces, there's a pole. You remember the pole hold?
Yep.
Well, they had to hold onto the top of a 30-foot pole.
Yeah.
There's a pole sticking out of the water about 10 feet. They have to jump back into the water, climb this ladder to get to the top of their pole. The ladders get removed, and they have to hold onto the pole. Now they're fatigued, they're tired, and they're soaking wet this time. So it's whoever holds onto this pole the longest.
Ooh, between Derek and Stormy?
Between Derek and Stormy.
I think Derek's got her.
You think so?
Yeah.
She's got strong legs.
She's got strong legs, but man, his arms and his shoulders.
This came down to Dalton and somebody else when they did it. I think it was Dalton and Derek.
I think so.
I think Stormy was in third.
Yeah.
Like third or fourth. She did pretty well. Now they're soaking wet. Derek has puked.
He has puke, so he may be a little bit too fatigued to hold on.
He's been a little fatigued, and Stormy's got strong legs.
Stormy's got strong legs.
So I think this is a closer match than we think.
Stormy's probably got it just because she can switch between her legs and her arms, and it's not super taxing as far as like Derek probably doesn't have a lot of strength in his legs. I know he's got like a little bit because he's, he's Derek James.
He's got really strong arms though.
But he's got really strong arms.
I think it's the same situation where like if Derek starts to slip, he can hold on. If Stormy starts to slip, she's going all the way.
Yeah.
Like once her legs give out, she has nothing left. I think once Derek's legs gives out, he still has his arms. But can his arms outlast her legs?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Get the trusted coin.
The coin. There's a lot of flipping going on.
These are really close challenges, though. I think these are all really close challenges.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a very important immunity. Anybody could be going home.
Yep.
So everybody's a little extra motivated, I'd say.
I'd say so.
Yeah. Especially Stormy, since her alliance has been broken up. She's going against the guy that betrayed her, by the way. So maybe that's added a little bit more fuel to the fire.
It could be.
So, I mean,
She's got a little bit of something to prove.
she's got something. I think she's got something to prove. And with all the vomit, you know what?
I think Stormy takes it.
I think Stormy takes it as well. I was kind of agreeing with you a little bit at first on Derek, but I wanted to debate a little bit. But I think I just debated myself into changing my mind.
Well, man, like, not only does she have the strength in her legs, and I know Derek's got the strength in his arms, but she's also got that thing to prove to him where it's like, motherfucker, you broke the alliance.
Yeah. And he's been very sick.
Exactly.
So he's been vomiting nonstop for the last like 2 days.
Right.
So I think Stormy does win this challenge.
Yeah.
And wins immunity, which is huge. Which is huge because she is Red Chamber's biggest like opposition right now.
Right.
So that creates an interesting concept because this is the second time now the Stormy's won immunity in a row. So we go to tribal council. Is there any alliances that are still sticking together right now?
I don't
Like, is Tatum and Red still sticking together?
I think they're civil with each other, but I don't necessarily think that they're sticking together in an alliance aspect.
They haven't had any beef with each other this whole time, though. I'll say that.
No.
Like, they've been true to each other.
Yeah.
Like, they have had each other. Like, Red has always had Tatum's back throughout all of this. And I think Red has played a better game than Tatum, obviously.
I think so, yeah.
So, I do think that he doesn't mind keeping Tatum around because he can beat Tatum.
Right.
So I think as everybody's thinking about who they can beat, so that's when they want to build alliances with. The top contenders are Stormy, Red, and Dalton, I'd say. So those are each other's biggest competitions. So I think Tatum will continue to roll with Red. I think Derek's finally starting to think more game. So who does he think he can beat in the final? He thinks he can beat Tatum. So he obviously wants to keep Tatum. Who does he think he will lose against? I think he thinks he will lose to Red.
Yeah.
I think he thinks he can beat Dalton. I'm not sure.
But where does he look at Stormy? Like, how does he see her?
Doesn't matter. She's immune.
You're right.
I think Stormy's targeting Red. Derek did side with Red for that last vote. But if he's really starting to think game, he's thinking the Red's his biggest opposition. Tatum and Red are still tight, I think, in terms of like how they're going to vote at least. So I think Stormy and Derek like come together. Like he probably would have voted for Stormy, but she's immune. So I think he goes to her and apologizes and repatches things, and they vote for Red. I think Red and Tatum, I don't think they can vote for Dalton because he's got to know the chopping blocks on him. So I think they have to vote for Derek. I think Red knows he has to vote for Derek because if he votes for Dalton, then Dalton's just going to vote for him.
Right.
Although nobody knows who they're voting for. But he's got to know the numbers are on him.
Surely.
He's got to tie the vote.
He's got to be able to like look around and see what's going on.
He's got to know that if he goes for Dalton, even in some kind of scam, like at most, it'll be a tie. So I think they have to go for Derek. So who does Dalton vote for? Dalton's the swing vote. He went from being the number one guy on the chopping block to being the swing vote. So him and Tatum have been tight for a while.
Right.
They've been tight for a while. Does that still stand? Does he try to get rid of Derek? Like, I don't know. Does he finally start thinking for himself and get rid of Red? Or do they get rid of potentially the biggest physical threat? Because I do think Derek is the physical threat. He is the biggest physical threat, I think.
You think Derek is?
Yes. I think he lost today because he was sick. But I think when it comes to like those standard just like stamina challenges, he's really hard to beat.
Okay.
And the last challenge is always some sort of stamina challenge most of the time, at least in these earlier seasons. We just sat down at a bench. It's really nice out here.
We did.
So it really, really just comes down to who does Dalton vote for. Both of them got to pitch their cases.
Yeah.
Stormy and Derek go to Dalton. Stormy doesn't like Dalton,
Right.
but I don't know. She's probably got to try to do something. They got to convince him. Red's going to win this whole thing. Red sales pitch is the same thing, but reversed. Stormy's going to win this whole thing. Derek's also but we can't vote for her tonight. Derek's the biggest physical threat, and their alliance back up again. Red, Tatum, and Jacob pulled Dalton into their alliance when Stormy, Eddie, Derek, and Dalton were on the outs.
Yeah.
Does that weigh into his decision?
I think that he probably goes for Derek just for the simple fact of like Dalton, Red, and Tatum all come from the same place.
Yes.
They did pull Dalton into their alliance when the chips were down.
Yes.
So I think he has some allegiance to them
Okay.
as people, not necessarily even in talking about game or alliances, but just as people, he has, he's drawn to them more.
Okay.
So I think he's just naturally going to vote Derek.
I'll also point out that both times that Dalton won immunity, his last person eliminated before him was Derek. It's like, it was always Derek and him.
Yeah.
They're always the final two. So, man, okay. Derek James. He's eliminated.
Yep.
He's gone. Derek. He's gone. Goodbye, Derek. You can go home and you can go to Eddie LeVon's house and get high now.
Yeah.
He's probably so like relieved actually.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Tons of weed and mac and cheese.
And he's been vomiting a lot. He's so sick. He's probably like over it now.
Probably like, thank God.
Thank God. Like I was going to give up, but thank Jesus Christ. I am gone now. That brings us, bro, to the final four.
Yep.
Next week will be the last episode. There will be 3 tribal councils next week's episode. 3. Tres.
Gonna be
Twa-
insane.
Mas.
We got
Insane.
Tatum Manning,
Tatum Manning,
Red Chambers,
Red Chambers,
and Stormy.
Stormy Renee, and Dalton Gray.
Yep.
Final four.
Final four.
Holy shit. No more reward challenges. Straight immunity from here on out. Brother.
It's gonna be nuts.
Oh, man. Tune in next week for the finale of Wrestling Survivor.
So Tommy, where can the people find you?
Nowhere. I don't exist.
You don't exist.
I don't exist. I am nowhere. I am everywhere at the same time. I am beyond. You could find me on social medias at the Tommy Dean Pro or the Tommy Dean 32. You can get yourself Tommy Dean individual merch at www.shop.fuck.
There you go.
Yep, that's the website. www.thetommy.shop.bigcartel.com. You can find me still at your mom's house having round 7 right now. I tell you what, it's great. I'll probably be at WFC for the Ryder Cup, at least on one of those nights, probably night 2,
Okay.
whenever that is.
Right on. Well, as always, subscribe, follow me on all social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at I am Wesley Crane. Grab yourself some super sick merch, shirts, hoodies, hats, digital downloads. It's all available at www.iamwesleycrane.com. And with all of that being said, you'll hear us on the next one.
I can't believe you took out my piss segment last week.
I did.
That's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Next week on Wrestling Survivor. Freedom and Brett are fucking. Dalton's migrated in the trees with the monkeys.
The monkeys are also his pimps.
We don't agree, Wesley.
There's no way.
There's no way.
How many marshmallows fit up Red Chambers' ass?
No, there's no way Justin would vote for Stormy. You're wrong.
Let it